Good morning, good morning, do 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 do. Good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to a daily dose of joy. I'm just taking in this moment. I love this ritual. I've been doing it for over 365 days. Every single day. And I am rising and we are rising together. That's why we take those solidarity breaths at the end. So this morning, I'm going to use the microdosing tool of a Whoopsie Daisy story. Whoopsie Daisy? Oh, Whoopsie Daisy. If y'all don't know the origin story for that, a friend of mine from Australia, her family, when Notting Hill came out, started using the phrase that, what was the character's name? I can only think of the actor, Hugh Grant, but uses in the movie. And he's like climbing this fence and he goes, whoopsie daisy. He's like an adult grown man saying, whoopsie daisy. And every time he slips. And it had been something that I had loved the movie and loved the catchphrase. And so the two of us one day just started riffing about all the whoopsie daisies around us. And then that's how I adopted it as a way of utilizing this microdosing tool of telling the stories of the little whoopsie daisies in our life. It's the storytelling, the remembering it and the telling it again that helps wire in the pathways to associate those little wobbles in life with humor and with ease, and at the very least, with not a big dose of canned chemistry and vigilance and worry and stress, right? So that's how it got its name, the Whoopsie Daisy stories. And we are always, as our lives expand, and we're doing more things or new things, there are new opportunities to wire in a whoopsie daisy perspective. So for me, having a new furry piranha living in my house, or AKA a small furry puppy, who's not so small. He's a large, he's a mutt rescue, but he's gonna be big. And so it's already like, it's a lot to heft around that little puppy. And so there can be frustrating moments, that my life is an expansion. And so I have these tools and the capacity to go, oh, well, that thought or that feeling from old past patterns, not really how I want to function or view this or how I want to work with this. So use my tools and I lay in a new pattern. And so one of the things I noticed is that in the moment, majority of the time will default right into the whoopsie daisy story. It'll be happening live time and I'll be laughing. But it did remind me that when I started, I didn't default right into the laughter. So the kind of wobbly or stressful situation would happen and I would start to think about whoopsie daisy stories, but I wouldn't quite be able to bring it yet. But I would even think about it afterwards and think, how can I make this funny? And I would even add stuff to the memory. I'd add, it's kind of like when somebody does something and you think, oh, I wish I'd thought of that when I was right in front of them, And it's a chance, our brain doesn't know the difference between what you're rehearsing in your imagination and what you actually experience. And so it'll lay down those neural pathways. If you revisit something, and you're like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't get so frustrated when that car, say, cut me off. And how could I have made that into a whoopsie daisy or a funny? And you could invent into your story that you caught the side of this person who cut you off and they were wearing a clown costume. I don't know. That one's maybe a real tough one for people. It's not particularly one of mine, but this is not one that I've rehearsed a lot of stories and found the humor in, but I can tell you them from raising a puppy. So one of the ones that really gets people are the nibbling. They like to nibble and chew because they're teething. So for me, when he does that, I start singing the baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, and I call him my furry piranha, and I find ways to wire my brain towards the humor of this temporary new behavior in my life. The furry piranha. So let's see. And the other one is accidents in the house. So fun. Oh, let me tell ya. I mean, diapers contain, puppies, it's a different ball game. Yeah, the woman who invents puppy diapers, that would be a gold mine. So until then, he's doing great, but there are occasional accidents, and you catch him in the moment. They say, okay, go ahead and pick him up and direct him outside. So the other day, live action Whoopsie Daisy. That was so funny. Ooh. But back to the Whoopsie Daisy with Bane, I got him in the act, picked him up, and took him outside. And I was just having somebody come over to the house. A friend was stopping by, and I'm like, oh man, glad I caught this, and take him outside. Well, then she arrives while he's out finishing his business, and we all walk in together. And luckily, I notice it before she does, but they're little like Hershey's Kisses all the way to the door. So it was like the red carpet as we walked in. It was like these little Hershey's Kisses lining the way back into the house. I was like, oh, Whoopsie Daisy. And I did a quick cleanup. Oh, well, it happens. But I think I said something in the moment, like rolled out the red carpet for you. We both had a good laugh, especially because it looked like little Hershey's Kisses. It was like, oh no, maybe it was like the Candyland Trail here for you or something. But we were able to laugh at the Whoopsie Daisy. Well, I hope these, I usually tell y'all more Whoopsie Daisies, but I hope that giving you a little background helped today. And I'm just trying to think if I have another one off the top of my head that happened recently. Well, the Whoopsie Daisy of a new pen for the puppy, and like a playpen. But he's big. He's bigger than an average 3.5-month-old puppy, or actually he's 4 months old now. And so he just used his body weight. And I'm like, oh, this is going so great. And all of a sudden I look over and he's taken his whole body weight and just laid it on one side of the pen. The whole pen's come up in the air. He's like, scampers out. I'm like, whoopsie daisy. Oh, well. He's a pen flipper, Oh my God. A very funny whoopsie daisy about my son in a crib. I'm going to do one more. I know we're going to get a little longer with whoopsies this morning. My son was about, how old would he have been? About 2.5, 3, maybe 3. I don't know. I forget what age you get rid of the crib, but my son was still sleeping in a crib, napping in his crib. It was lovely. And he must have been in his 2s because he was still wearing diapers. And we went over and visited some friends who were also around the same age, and they were sleeping in cribs. And the mom says, they're twins. The mom says, you're not going to believe this, but one of the twins has learned how to crawl out. Not only has he learned how to crawl out, he calls out to the other twin and says, I'm going to come get you. And she catches him in the act of going to the other twin's bed and teaching her how to climb out. And my friend describes all this. We're sitting having tea. Kids are playing with blocks on the floor. We get home. It's time for nap time. Put my son in his crib. And then I hear this, and I run to the stairs. And there he is, standing at the top of the stairs. He's like, I got out of my crib, just like our friend. And then he even adds in, and I didn't break my arm. Not that well articulated because he was a young child, but he had overheard the mom telling the story and had come home and done it. Like, whoopsie daisy. And so she and I had a big laugh. We still laugh about that. They're still good friends. So, whoopsie daisies. Whoopsie daisies can make bonding moments in relationships. So cultivate them, enjoy them, seek them out, right? So in the early days, seek them out, like revisit, rewrite, reimagine scenarios in your life where you see the funny, amplify the hyperbole, even change it a little bit if you need to at first to help you start just priming the brain to see the humor in the wobbles of life. Well, let's take 3 solidarity breaths together to celebrate. May today surprise and delight you. I'll see you tomorrow.